Okay, so we are, I mean, I'm going to cover the transaction data load into the model. Okay, in the previous video, I have covered how to create the model, right? So this is the one brand inventory planning I have created. Don't worry of these names and these dimensions and these measures because I cannot recollect what are the real GL accounts and real dimensions. Generally, they use. Okay, anyhow, here you see the model structure. So, this model structure we are calling as the measure based model structure. And as I said, like there is one more uh, model structure is that is account based model also I said, right? Okay, so let us create that model also. Again, I'm selecting the start with an empty model. Do we need to create this one? No. Want to create a classic model, account only instead. Let us try this one. Yeah. So classic model. The classic account model offers less flexibility capabilities than a model with measures. Okay, if it is less flexibility, why do we create? Let us understand what is this one. Okay, start with the data, start with the empty model. Let us start with the empty model. We may use this model in our further sessions or not, but let us just to understand the concept only I am creating this model. This is nice. This is actually old screen actually. SAC when first they released at that time I noticed this kind of data foundation, version, date, all these things. Now you see version and date here is also they made it as mandatory and default they are assigning to this data foundation date and version they are showing as the dimensions and data foundation here you see measures calculations dimensions two dimensions default here it is showing calculations are zero calculations measure is one measure. What is one measure? Is there any measure? No measures, right? But it is showing one measure. That's what system by default it will create a measure for us. So just only you need to create one account in this model so that that model will have that account can have the sign data. This measure is simply nothing but we can compare with the sign data in the BPC system. Whenever you create one model, default the system will create one sign data. In the backend also you can see one BW in BW model also you can see like slash CPMB slash S sign data key figure, right? The same thing here is also happening. And here also we can add the new dimension. Is it a new dimension or existing dimension? Let us go with existing dimension. Existing dimension because already we have created account generic, sorry, generic. I selected the generic, already I have created brands, right? And brand variant also I created. So these two dimensions here I'm selecting. So these two dimensions I have selected here, brands and brand variant. Measure is there, okay, but this measure will have only the numeric values, but corresponding account also we have to maintain in this model. So we need one account, right? So here we go and we call one dimension. Let us create add new dimension. I am selecting so that let us create one account generic date organization. This is one difference you can see in the account model structure. You can create date type of dimension also, right? So here let us maintain account. I'm keeping it as B account I'm keeping as after the dimension is created, you will not be able to change its name. Okay, that's fine. Make this as a public dimension. You see, not available for account dimension in the context of the model. It is not available to make it as a public. It is not available in the context of a model because this dimension is specific to this model. It is not only in this account based model, even in the key figure model or measure based model also the same. If you create any dimension within the model that is specific to that model only. So if you create B account, this is private to this model only. So let us create one dimension here. It is showing the account ID we have given. Let us give some brand account. Brand accounts I am giving. See, this is dimension, right? Brand account I have given. This dimension is connected with the data foundation here. The same like access control, locking ownership, access control and locking ownership. These two properties in the account based model. Properties and hierarchies you can maintain. Okay, let us save this one. This model I am giving same like brand inventory planning account based. We can see the difference between these two models. I have created one more model that is account based model, right? So the model is saved successfully. Can we go to this account dimension structure? Yes. Even though it is the private dimension, you can see the table structure, member ID, description, hierarchy, formula, account type, calculated on, aggregation type, exception aggregation. These many properties are their default properties in this account dimension. That is the reason if we select the type of dimension, system will propose, I mean system will assign the required dimensions to that dimension. Here you see how many properties are there, account type, everything, right? Okay, this is one way of creating the model. This is account based model first. Okay, I'm not maintaining the any master data in this account dimension. Let us focus on uh, measure based planning first. Okay, this is our measure based planning. This is measure based model. Here these are the dimensions and key figures I have maintained here. Okay, so now it is time to load the data into this model. To load the data into this model, here you can see one option, data sources, switch to data management option is there. And here it is showing like the model currently is not used in any application process referenced in any story, data action, data step or analytical application. So it's very useless still also it is showing. Currently, if it is connected with any data sources, it will show what are the data sources it has been connected with. That one also we can show here. Switch to data management from here to once we can switch to the data management, or from here also you can navigate to the data management. And calculations are also there. There are some calculations uh, you can develop in this model structure, the required calculations. If you go for these calculations, you can see calculated measures. Here you can build some calculated measures. We come to this part later after completing the transaction data, and some of the things also we need to cover actually. So here you see data integration and API subscription. This is one important and interesting concept in SAC that I found. So you can integrate your subscripted APIs also here, so that you can bring the data from those APIs. Okay, let us go with simple task first. Uh, so the data management here, import jobs. Here again the same, because we have the data in Excel only, right? So let us go here. Sorry, let us go here. Data source. Here file. We are selecting the local file or file server, whatever. Let us select the file. I am selecting my source file. Where is my source file? This is my source file. We know this file is having number of sheets. Here I have the data, transaction data, and here use first row as the column headers. That's fine. Now let us go to the import of the table. The process is going on, as it is the cloud system. So first it has created one job. The import has not been run yet. This is interesting thing it is showing, right? We have loaded the master data also. That time it didn't show anything. Just simply it has loaded data into the dimensions table. But here it is not like that. It is showing the import has not been run yet. What does it mean? It is asking us to set up the import. We can click on the setup import. It will take us to some mapping mechanism. It is showing our data first. What is the data is available in our uh, Excel file. Okay, so this is the data is there in our Excel file. 2020 year data we have maintained. Inventory units I have maintained. There are no sold units. Interesting. Okay, we have not maintained any sold units here. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so here you can see in that bottom side, you can see nest, save and exit, cancel. And here also you can see prepare data in the top. You can see the prepared data. Here these many steps are there to before importing these many steps we need to take care. Prepare data. This is the preparation of the data. And what is the preparation of data here? Here you see uh, a transformation. The same transformation even you can see in the dimension load also. After completing this transaction data, one more video is there that will take care of what is the transformations and how do we do those transformations. We compare those here, the transformation with the BPC transformations and conversions. For now, I am not touching this transformation because I want to dedicate one video for this transformation. Now let us go to the next. Even if you click the next or go to the map to facts, whatever. So here is the map to facts. We are mapping our source file to the fact table, right? The model is nothing but fact table. Okay, so here the system showing like here the source columns you can see, and the system understood that there are two variants. By default it has mapped once it find its relevant field in the target side account and uh, year. Here are the pendings, right? Let me account. Here I will map here, and this inventory unit. Oh, inventory unit already we have mapped. Inventory units already mapped, and brands. There is no brand in the. Okay, unmapped, source side unmapped. Brand variants we have mapped. Brand is not there in our model. Let me go to the transaction table. Brand is there. Oh, here. Okay, account based key figure. Let me. Which one I have connected with? Let us open this one. I am deleting this. I want to make sure what I want to make sure which sheet we have selected. Okay. So let us go again. Local file. Source I'm selecting analytics. Might not be. No, it is showing the old file. That is the problem. Let me. Yeah, I have resaved the file. Now I am going to the file. Let us check. Okay, now I am getting the key figure file I am getting. So this is the cloud system, so it will process data in the backend. Now let us set up import. This is one thing I have noticed actually here. I am uploading this sheet, but I mean this is the workbook, right? This is the workbook, but which sheet we have selected? That one it is not showing. That is one thing I noticed. Probably they missed it. Probably if they show the sheet name also here, that would be the good effort, right? Okay, here you see the prepared data. Now go to the either nest or select the map to facts. Okay, almost all the columns have been mapped. Only the year has been left here. So year also successfully mapped to the date dimension. All the columns have been mapped to the target dimension. Here one thing is like you can leave one column or any columns in the source side, but better maintain all the target columns with the relevant values, either the constants. Anyhow, here we have mapped all the source columns to the target, I mean model structure. As I said, like we are following the key figure based model, right? So here are measure based model. So brand variant mapped to brands, date also mapped here. Oh, here 2023 it is coming here, date 2024 to 2025. This is one thing we need, very interesting thing we need to keep in mind. We need to check before mapping or before designing the model, we need to check this date dimension. Why? Because here date dimension generally, by default, what I notice, it is taking only the 2 years data from the current year. That's what I noticed. The date here you see. Let us go the review settings. Okay. Let us go to the review settings. Here you see here sample values are like 2023 data type, target dimension, value range is from 2024. So your date dimension is having values from 2024, whereas your source column is coming with the 2023. So definitely it will reject the values, right? So that's why just I'm stopping this one here. Let us, this is the data file, right? This is the data file. Okay. So 2023 onwards it is there. Let us first go to the date dimension. Okay. Let us build the date dimension first. Here, this is the date dimension. Okay. Let us go to the edit dimension table. Here, 2024 onwards, we didn't maintain any data in this one, right? It has, when the dimension has been created by default, it took the values from 2024 onwards, and it filled by default all these date dimension. Let us maintain the range for this date dimension. To maintain the range in this date dimension, here you see member management, system managed. Is it system managed, the or manually we can manage? Here you see from 2 year. Let us take it as a 2023. Okay. Refresh your data to see a preview. Now by default, the system has loaded the data from 2023 onwards. Here we have maintained all the periods, right? But here granularity is month wise we have. Default hierarchy we have maintained. Our values are coming with 2023. Our flat file is having source column values are having 2023, but here we are maintaining the values with 2020. I mean month wise we are maintaining. So that's why here I'm taking the granularity. I'm taking as year wise. Year wise I have maintained this granularity so that I can upload the data into the model. Okay, so my granularity is year wise I have taken. Now let us save this dimension. Okay, it has been saved. Now go back, to your model. Now still our data source is there, right? So now you go to the data source, I mean data management, go to setup import. Till you complete the import process, that will be there in the data management, you can see. Now you know the values are there in the date dimension also. Now you can bring your year simply here so that you can map your date dimension to the source column year. We have mapped all the columns. Now we are making sure that your values will be loaded into the model. The next step is map properties. This is one important thing in the design side, model side. What happens? This is the flat file, right? So while loading the facts, also you can map your properties, dimension properties, to the source columns. That is one interesting thing here you can notice. Currently, we are not maintaining any properties in the flat file. There is a reason it is not showing any properties here. And all rows have been assigned the default value public actual. Actually, in our column, I mean, in our source, there is no version, right? Let me open this analytics file. There is no version actually here. But in our model, the version is one extra dimension that was that is hard coded with I mean the default value. There is one default value that is public actual. Even if you open the version dimension, you can see one public actual value. What is this public and actual? That is one important thing, right? I can explain you later once we go for the go into the reporting side. Actually, versions generally we maintain in the public and private versions. So whatever the actual public actual it is showing, your actual is public version. It means the data is available in the system, that is available across all the users. That's the meaning of the public. Private means if one user enters any data, that data is specific to that particular user only. So that is the private version. Once we start to build some input templates or reports for the planning, then we can understand what is that one. And public dimensions are excluded from the list below. This is one important point we need to remember. This one, public dimensions are excluded from the list below. To update their members and properties, manage your imports directly in each public dimension. Is there any private dimensions? Version is the private dimension. That is the reason it is showing here. And date is the private dimension. Already we have maintained all the properties. Okay, already we have already we have mapped that date dimension. That is the reason it is not showing here. Version we have not mapped, but that's why it is showing here, and there are no properties. Whatever the values are coming from the source, those are directly mapping to this value public actual. This is one important thing that I said, like public dimensions are excluded from the list below, because public dimensions, if you create any public dimension, that has been loaded from the source, either from the flat file or some live data connections or the import data connections. You need to load either the members or their property values. We cannot map their properties using this one. So that is the reason here they given the map properties. This map properties especially to map your private dimensions and members and their members and their properties. This map properties I'm talking about. So this one entirely deals with private dimensions and their properties. Map properties is okay. Now let us go to the review import. So everything is perfect here. See, this is very sample data set I have taken for understanding, and I'm straight away mapping those source to the targets. Total 6 records are there. Data successfully validated. Is there any issues? If any issues is there, it will show all the issues. Okay. Target, all targets, brands we have mapped. Issue, members does not exist. Go to the dimension to update its members. Oh, it is one issue is there. That's nice. It's shown. Member does not exist. Go to the dimension to update its members. This is one important thing we need to remember, right? Either in the BPC also, and any other planning systems also. That's what I noticed. Without any valid members, we cannot upload the transaction data. So here we again we go back to the uh, dimension. I'm discarding this one because first we noticed one issue, right? So we need to fix that issue here. Let us go to the dimension. I think brands, we have not maintained any data there. Brands there. Brand variant is there. Then what is the issue it shown? Let us go to the models. Did I miss anything here? Go to the data management. Go to the setup import. Go to the review import. Map to facts. It missed, right? So let us map it. Okay. Brands. Target GM is there. Data is not coming. Variants are there. Brand variants. Uh, Inventory units coming. Year coming. All those coming. Then review import. Oh, okay. This value not maintained. That's what it is showing, right? Member does not exist. Go to the dimension to update its members. Toyota. Okay, what happens? Six records are there. This value not available in the target dimension. Let us see what happens. Will it reject all the records or will it reject only the six records? Let us see that one. Okay. I'm running the import. Yeah, here this is one important thing here. Running the import. You are about to create your model with the following settings. Import method is update. Reverse assign by account type off. Dimension update enabled. Here you see change settings. It is something similar to our BPC package settings, right? When you are updating the when you are running the package, that time also you can see these many options. But reverse assign by account type generally we maintain in the transformation file. Here this is one option. They given one option and at the time of loading the data itself. That is the flexibility here. So import settings, update, default update method it is, and append, clean and replace selected version data, clean and replace subset of data, reverse assign by account type. This is one important concept in the planning system, especially in the BPC. Uh, if this option is enabled, your INC and LEQ account values will be imported with the reversed signs. This option is only available if your model has an account to dimension. That's why it is disabled. You can see here. We cannot select this one. If this option is only available if your model has an account to dimension. Our model is not having any account to dimension. We are strictly following the measure based model. It means we are not maintaining any account. Of course we can maintain the account dimension in this model structure also, but for now we are not maintaining that account dimension in this one. That is why here we cannot enable this account type and update local dimensions with the new members. local dimensions with new members. What is local dimension? Here, this is the private dimensions. So local dimensions means private dimensions and their dimension to properties, their properties. So because of this option, we have seen in the previous screen, we have seen map properties option. If you disable this one, we cannot load this. We cannot maintain the private dimension members and their relevant properties. Okay, so this is the import settings you can maintain. These are the import settings you can maintain, and validation settings you can see. Conditional validation. This is one thing we need to keep in mind when you are importing the data. If this option is enabled, you may select which hierarchies to validate against. Validating against selected hierarchies will prevent data from being imported to non-leaf members. This deals with the non-leaf members. Okay, we discussed these settings in the coming session when we start to work with the hierarchies. Currently, we do not have any parent-child hierarchy in our model. That's the reason this one I am skipping. Okay, so these are the job settings we can see. If you want to flip your account type sign when you are loading the data, if you want to flip the sign by account type, you can do it, but only it will be available. Only you can do only if you maintain account dimension in the model. Okay, so I am continuing with the update method itself. Dimension update enabled. That's what we have seen. Reverse sign off import method is this one. Let us finish it. Let us see whether it will reject all the records or it will reject only the 6 records. Data from analytics has been imported successfully. Analytics has refreshed successfully. Duration 11 rows imported, 6 rows rejected. Rejection summary, let us see. The log itself is showing, right? The rejection summary also you can see what are the rejected records, why they rejected the records. Already we have seen this setting. I mean, this kind of information. Okay, the system is going to reject 6 records just because of not maintaining the Toyota brand in our brand dimension, right? That's why it rejected. So what we understood from here, if the master data value is not there, those records only will be rejecting the system. Rest of the records it is loading. But in BPC there is an option, right? We can reject entire records. Entire import we can reject if any error we found, or we can reject only those error records. That option setting there in the BPC. Here I didn't find. If you know that settings, please let me know. Okay, we have loaded 11 rows imported. Okay, now shall we load the rest of the 6 records also? Okay, I will take care of loading the rest of the 6 records just by maintaining the dimension member. Let us go to the dimension again. Brands. Toyota is not there. Interesting. Oh, it is. Oh, okay. Toyota America is there, not the Toyota. Okay. Let me this one. Okay. I am rejecting. I am deleting this record entire member. I am deleting. I am saving this one. So this dimension member I have manually maintained. You understood, right? So now coming to this one, go to the model, go to this one. Now we see one interesting thing. Go to the data management. This is the import. Can we replace the data source? File, I'm selecting the again the same thing. Oh, let us close this one. I'm selecting the key figure sheet. The same thing it is showing, right? Partial refresh also it is showing the same thing. So that's why here I'm going again. I'm creating the another data source. Go to the analytics. I mean that sheet, the workbook, and here I'm creating one more. I'm selecting my sheet. It will create another data source now. Let us set up import. This is the flat file loading. That is the reason it is showing like that. One more data source. So now we have the value. 6 records are there. It is our target to import all the 6 records now. But already we have 11 records. Successfully mapped. Map properties not required this one anymore. Go to the review import. It is persisting your data changes. No issues found. Let us run import. Will it load 17 records or 6 records? Now it has imported 17 rows. We have used the update method. Okay, so it will update the existing records and it will add it the new records. So total 7 rows we have imported. So this is how we upload our transaction data into mode. And the next video I release like transformations. What are the transformations we can maintain while loading the dimension master data and transaction data. Thank you for watching, and please suggest any things I missed, or if you have any additional things, please share in the comment section. Thank you.